Okay, Sofia Ilteriakova. This is her club routine from the Baku competition that's just taken place. I did watch Sofia Ilteriakova's ball routine from World Cup Sofia, but I did not. I reacted to it, but I didn't upload it because she used the song, also the song Vogue by Madonna, and since I have trouble uploading that particular song, gets copyrighted, I decided not to upload the reaction. I basically said in it that Sophia's ball handling is nice and that I liked her ball routine. I didn't think that she was gripping the ball nearly as much as most athletes that I've been watching, and I enjoyed her routine, especially the second half where the music was Vogue, and I talked about how I liked the music choice in the second half of the routine. The first half, I didn't really like the music. But anyway, those were my thoughts on Sophia's ball routine that I watched from the previous competition, Sophia's routine. So anyway, I'm just going to look now at her club routine, and hopefully we will not have issues about the music. Yeah. Okay, first of all, I wanted to say that I really like her leotard. I know that that's not really part of the analysis of someone's routine, but I really love the design of the leotard. It struck me immediately when she's standing here. I really like the colors, and when I heard the music, it makes a lot of sense. It's interesting to see a risk done that's not actually a cascade. Right now, I would say the vast majority of risks with the clubs, not all, but the vast majority are cascade style tosses because those are worth points in this code. I like cascades. I just feel that they're a little too predominating the risks currently. But you do still sometimes see the double club toss, which I love to see. And then this one where she throws one and then does the little drop catch underneath is something a little bit different that we don't always see. So that was nice. Good music choice for clubs, I would say. So here we're going to look at the raffaeili turn. I will just say like a slight artistry point. A little bit of an awkward connection here. See, like she put the club there. She needed to set up the clubs like that. She took her time to do it. It's something that it's not a huge mistake, but when we're looking at this high of a level and we're talking about a logic, like it's not an illogical connection, but it's a little bit of a long preparation, can say. So at this level, those type of things are noticeable. Let's look at the releve position of the raffaeili turn. Visually, my first watch through before I paused, I think that she was on flat and then releve and then flat again, possibly. Flat, releve. Okay, so she was on maybe a tiny releve here, then flat, and then releve again. That's what I saw during the actual first watch. Releve very low, then flat, then releve again. To me, I don't think that counts, but I don't know. I would have to be judging. I would have to be talking to judges, be in judging courses where they analyze this stuff. But if the turn has to be performed on releve, and the releve is so low at the initiation of the turn and then just goes to flat, and the only real visible releve is at the end, I don't see that as valid. Basically, she needs to face back to us, and she's flat by then. I mean, I guess you can argue that her heel is always slightly off the carpet, like here, and therefore it's a 0.1 for low releve. Coda points needs to, I don't know, they need to clarify that, like, that's, because there's low releve, and then there's that. Low releve is what she's doing is this. This is low releve. This is flat with your weight forward in your toes. Like if you've done a promenade, for example, promenades or slow turns on a flat foot used to be very popular in rhythmic gymnastics, and they're not anymore. But if you've ever executed a promenade, and coaches still sometimes train promenades as part of training, I think they're a very useful training tool. But anyway, if you execute a promenade on a flat foot, you have to keep your weight forward out of your heel so that you can do the initial heel support. Each time you shift from the heel, you have to keep your weight forward. And it's the same thing when you do like a penché turn on flat. You have to keep your weight forward. You're not in releve, but you have to keep your weight in the forward part of your foot in order to allow your heel to be free to move. It's similar when you like do an illusion, stuff like that. Illusions, promenades, penché pivot. That's essentially what this is. It's low releve. It's not low releve. It's weight forward on a flat foot. Low releve is kind of what she does later in the turn. See, this is all flat. Right here. Now that I would call low releve. It's interesting. It's like her heel isn't completely down for the entire turn, but can you really say that's releve except for right at the very end? I would say absolutely not. And she is not alone. The reason I'm pointing her out is because I would say that the way Sofia Ilteriakova here is doing that is the way most people do the turn. Most people do it exactly like what she just did. So it's very interesting. Really interesting change of dynamic in this routine to the slow music from that faster music earlier. She did 4 turning leaps. Her first one was not arched enough, in my opinion. The rest of them appeared to be arched enough. The first one seemed like a small deviation. This is the same risk, essentially, that she did at the beginning of the routine. We've talked about this in some previous routines. You don't really have to vary your risks that much in this code of points, so why would you? Because it makes training easier when you can kind of do the same stuff. It's easier to just train one toss. Watch, toss from a walkover, the little drop, 3 chaînés, catch in a different walkover. Well, pretty much the same walkover, she just goes to the floor. So she throws off the club from a walkover, drops the club behind her back, does the chaînés, catches in the front walkover. Now, where we are here, after the turning leaps, she's gonna execute a very similar risk. This time there's no cartwheel or walkover at the beginning. There's no walkover at the beginning. It's still a throw off the other club. She's gonna still do the drop behind the back, the chaînés. This time her arm is down instead of up. And this time she's gonna catch with the cartwheel in a trap. So it's this idea, and it makes total sense. If you're allowed to do it, why wouldn't you? You take a risk and you just slightly alter it. So you're basically training the same element. You're training throw off the club with 3 chaînés under and that little drop behind the back during the first one. So that's what you train over and over again. And you get really good at that. It's a very hard skill, but you can get really good at it with lots of repetitions. At that point, you can start just varying little things, like throwing the club in a walkover, catching the club in a trap. But it's still the same basic risk each and every time you practice it. So it makes sense. It makes training easier. You don't have to do a whole new skill every single time. And you become more consistent this way. It does lead to, in my opinion, a visual lack of variety in the routines, even when I'm just watching more casually and not judging. I just feel like it looks like the same stuff is being repeated. And Sofia is not the only person doing this, by far. Most people are doing this because it makes sense with the current code of points. And also, we see it with the apparatus difficulties as well. I did want to point out another complete side note that has nothing to do with my commentary on Sofia Ilteriakova's routine, but I love her picture. That's cool that she did a little like heart with her hands in her picture that's on the screen. I just noticed that, and that's cute. I love it. It's funny. Okay. She's a really nice center on her fouettés. Wow. Great pirouettes. The thing about her pirouettes is, well, they're incredible. She doesn't have to use that much force to get around because she's so centered. And it just looks like she's at ease doing them, even though she's doing so many multiples. Wow, what a great skill. That's the best fouettés of anyone I've seen currently competing. I don't even think that's even close. That's incredible. Yeah, wow. I love that element, the dive split leap. I've always thought that you can do a dive split leap roll with different apparatus. You can do different things with the apparatus in dive rolls. I just always think they look so cool. They're really fun to do as well. The barrel roll, somebody else does this element, the catch behind the back and then the barrel roll. I think it's Takmina. And it's really challenging to not do the barrel roll after the catch. It's really tricky. I don't think that's a great element to do. Not because it looks bad or anything. It looks cool. It's just when you catch here and then you initiate the barrel roll, I don't think that you can count that as catching a rotation. It's just too late. And Takmina, I believe it's Takmina who also executes this element. Hers looks pretty much just like that. It's a catch behind the back on the knees prior and then initiating the rotation. So the catch here is without vision, but it's not rotating. So I just don't think that's a valid apparatus difficulty. You would have to be in the catch, already in the barrel roll. She plays with the speed a little bit here, like going faster and going slower to try to receive like points for dynamic changes in artistry. I think this music is great for that because you can go slower or faster. It's a unique way of interpreting the music there, and I think it worked really well. I would say the side inclination, I wish she held it just a little bit longer, but nowadays you rarely see super held balances, like stuck balances. She has the control to hold longer. It's just because they're not rushing, but they're trying to fit a lot into the routine. It's not that she can't hold longer. You can actually tell that she can because she has so much control coming out of it. So now she went ahead and did a different risk, which is nice. And I don't know if she's the only one, but this is one of the very few club routines I've watched where the gymnast did not execute a cascade style toss. I'm really surprised. Everyone does cascades these days, but she does throw off the club again, and this time is doing 3 forward rolls and catching on the floor with the other club. So not a cascade, and she did 2 other risks that weren't cascades exactly. They were the throw with the little throw underneath, which is a little bit different than a traditional cascade where you throw one club and then the next up into the air. Yeah, she's happy. Should be. That was nice. I mean, I paused a lot, and it's hard to appreciate the entire routine when you can go back and watch it. But she really had a great artistry there. Great control coming out of the balance. And the last 3 forward rolls is beautiful on the music. Great control out of the side inclination and attitude. Yeah, wow. She's happy with herself.
He travelled across the space at the end. Crikey, did she travel across the space at the end?
Crikey, guys. She did. She did triple roll, and she did travel all the way across the space. Kind of like that these commentators didn't talk over the whole routine. Not like I did. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, she did really travel across the entire space. Let's go back to the beginning. Just kind of appreciate her routine a little bit more. She has beautiful technical execution with her body. Talked about the releve there. Like the way she interprets the slower music with quick and slow movements. Could have probably arched more on the first leap. Sofia Ilteriakova has a really good eye contact in clubs. She uses her eyes to help herself catch the clubs. Like you can see how she focuses on where the clubs are all the time. Incredible fouetté turns. Absolutely incredible. The best fouetté turns currently. I'm going out on a limb saying that, but I think it's not really a limb. That looked after to me. Like the musicality. It's a great music choice. Great control on the balances. Great musicality on the triple roll. Great execution. Really nice artistry. Great elements. Kind of besides the one element that I mentioned was the raffaeili turn, where there's definitely some low releve going on there. I think it's probably valid. I would argue that maybe it shouldn't be, but I think it actually, by the rules, maybe is. I'd be interested to hear what judges think about that turn and whether that's valid or not. But wow, that's a fun routine. I love the music choice. I love the expression. I like her interpretation of it. She's very clean. The fouetté turns are mind-blowing. These are so well executed. Like, it's not only how many rotations she does, but how much under control she is the entire time. It is so difficult to have this much control, and she's just easily doing triples like it's nothing. It's just absolutely fantastic turn. This is what I was talking about, like the way she uses her eyes. See how she's just like eyes wide open and fingers tight together? If you are a younger gymnast and want advice on clubs, this is the advice. Tight fingers together for every catch and eyes wide open all the time on the clubs. That's what you need to do to have great control over your clubs and just deal with the complexity of having two pieces of apparatus going at the same time. Shout out to the dive split leap. I always love the dive split leap. It reminds me a little bit of Yana Kudratseva. Yana used to do that, a really unique bounce off the floor with the clubs in her dive split leap, and Sofia's not doing that. She's doing this flip toss, but still, I love the dive split leap roll. I love anybody who does it. Anyway, this element execution was questionable about being after the rotation, being after the catch. Look at the interpretation of the music. It's really, really unique. Great musicality. She's just so under control in this routine. This routine is so hard, and she's almost making it look like it's easy. And that's because she's just so calm and put together on the floor, and she's just in control of this entire routine. That was a tremendously well executed routine. Shout out to her. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I do want to watch some more of her routines as well. I don't think I'm gonna do a reaction to the ball because of the music, but and the copyright issue. But I think I will be watching more of her. She's a really exciting gymnast to watch.